Okay, so part one is just about learning the content so you can go through these resources here. Part two is practice games. So I really would suggest spending some time doing some practice games. And then part three is the required section to complete these problems. And then it would be good if you could try and simplify, but we'll just go through them. So we are multiplying fractions in all of these. So we multiply the numerators, 7 times 1, that's 7, okay, the top numbers, and then we multiply the bottom, 10 times 2, 20, and we put that as our fraction, 7 over 20. It's that simple. 1 times 4 equals 4. 5 times 2, oops, 2 times 5, doesn't really matter, that is the same, equals 10. Our fraction is 4 over 10, which simplifies to 2/5 if you divide the top and bottom by 2 over 2. And then you can go through these and do the same process. I would suggest trying to cancel across before multiplying. So for example, in this problem here, there's a 2 on the top and a 2 on the bottom. So you can end up canceling those out and you're going to be left with 1/5. Same thing, you can cancel those 3's out. You're left with 2/4, which simplifies down to 1/2. So a lot of times it's easier than trying to simplify afterwards, unless that's going to confuse you, then just multiply regular. This next one here, so remember when we have a fraction times a whole number, we are going to put that whole number over 1 to remind us that we don't multiply the whole number by the bottom number. So on top, it would be 2 times 3, which is 6. On the bottom, it would be 5 times 1, which is 5. So it's 6 over 5. Same thing here. It's 1 times 10 on top equals 10. The bottom is not 7 times 10. It's 7 times 1. If you end up multiplying by 10 again, and you've defeated the whole point of multiplying by the whole number, it doesn't work out. So you can go ahead and solve these by putting the whole number over 1 and then multiplying across. Okay. Now we're into the negatives section here. So remember, when we have negatives involved, all we have to do is count the negatives. So in this one, there's 1 negative, and since 1 is an odd number of negatives, I know my answer will have a negative in it. So I'm going to put that down here. So my answer will be negative something. So then I just ignore the negatives for multiplication purposes. So the top is 1 times 2. That would be 2. The bottom is 2 times 3. That would be 6. So it's going to be negative 2/6, which actually simplifies to negative 1/3. Again, if you cross those 2's out, you are left with 1/3, and then of course the negative. So again, we have negative 4/7 times negative 7. So first I see 2 negatives. 2 negatives means my answer is going to be positive, since 2 is an even number. So I can just ignore the negatives here, and I'm going to put 4/7 times, and since this is a whole number, I'm going to put it over 1. And then you're going to just go ahead and multiply, but let's say that you see that it's over 1, right? And so I see a 7 on top and a 7 on the bottom. So the top, right, is 4 times 7, and the bottom is 7 times 1. Those 7's can cancel, so we're left with 4 over 1 as your answer, or just 4. If you don't cancel, you'll see that it's 28 and 7, and then it's simplifying. 28 over 7 would simplify to 4. And then this solution video helps these problems here. This solution video helps those 2 problems there. And the last problems are 3 fractions, but it's all multiplication. So all we have to do is multiply all 3 numbers on top. 1 times 3 times 5. Well, 1 times anything is going to be that number. So 3 times 5 is 15. And then we got 2 times 5 times 6. You can just go in order. 2 times 5 is 10, times 6 is 60. And you could simplify 15 over 60. You could have canceled stuff out beforehand, but I'll let you do that. So divide by 5 over 5, and you can simplify. This one, same thing, 7 times 20, times 20 times 8 is on top. And then 16 times 14 times 5 is on the bottom. You can try and simplify now or just multiply it out and leave it. It's really up to you. I see a 7 and 14, so I know that that would cancel and you'd be left with 2 underneath. 8 and 16, you'd be left with 2 underneath. 20 and 5. There's a lot of ways to simplify. If you want to try it, I would suggest doing it. But yeah, those are how you do it. Good luck.